Your micro level is the things that happen in each particular campaign. So somebody goes to your landing page, they fill in the opt-in form, they download your report. Now, what happens? Specifically, what happens? What is the text of the email that they are getting sent? What is the text of the text message that they are being sent? Are they getting a phone call? And if they are getting a phone call, who is making it? Are they getting a postcard, if we have their email address or we have their physical mailing address? How many emails are they getting before they either do something or not? And of each of those emails, what is the content of those emails? That is the micro level, the micro campaign level that you need to think about. Hey, what's up? This is Jason Drone. Today, I want to talk about setting up marketing automation campaigns and the two levels that you need to think about, or your organization or team need to think about when you're setting up your marketing inside of a CRM or you're setting up your drip campaigns or whatever. There are two different types of thought. The first is like the macro level thought, and that would be a general explanation of how your buying sequence progresses. So here's what I mean. When you walk into a grocery store, you usually walk in the front door, you go to the right, you go through produce, then you go through, we shop at Wegmans, but you go through like the cheese section, and then you go back in through the meat section, and then you're off in a dairy, and then you kind of move around through, the aisles. That's the typical flow that most people kind of go through when they walk into Wegmans. How it works is you walk through department to department to department, and then you end up with the cash registers. So it's a very macro level view of what it is you're trying to do. Then you have your micro level automation. Your micro level is the things that happen in each particular campaign. So somebody goes to your landing page, they fill in the opt-in form, they download your report. Now, what happens? Specifically, what happens? What is the text of the email that they are getting sent? What is the text of the text message that they are being sent? Are they getting a phone call? And if they are getting a phone call, who is making it? Are they getting a postcard, if we have their email address or we have their physical mailing address? How many emails are they getting before they either do something or not? And of each of those emails, what is the content of those emails? That is the micro level, the micro campaign level that you need to think about. So we have a 4-year-old, and he loves this show on YouTube called Mighty Machines. It's really kind of a cool show, but we've learned a lot about how tractors operate and front loaders and all of that other kind of crazy stuff. One of the episodes was the semi-truck assembly line, and if anybody are familiar with my story, I used to drive a semi-truck 14 years ago, and then I went off, and now I'm doing digital marketing. So this semi-truck, the semi-factory line, the first thing they way off in some distant corner of the factory, they start by building the semi-frame, the tractor-trailer frame. And then it proceeds down, and it starts taking the undercarriage starts taking shape. The airbags for the suspension are added, then the transmission's added, then the engine is added, and then it goes from stage to stage to stage to stage, all the way until you have this freshly painted, polished, beautiful semi that's rolling off of the assembly line, ready to go to market. Now, if that frame was to skip a bunch of steps and then go right over to the paint booth, well, there's nothing to paint because the cab isn't put on it. Or if it was to skip the engine loading phase, there is nothing, there's no engine in the semi. It can't drive off the assembly line when it's done. So your campaigns need to have a framework applied. When a prospect comes to see you, they do this, and then they do that, and then they do this, so they bounce from one campaign to the next, and if they drop off, you understand that, and they are moved through some sort of a nurturing campaign. Now, we've worked with a lot of done-for-you sales funnel clients over the years, and oftentimes, when we're setting up marketing automation, we're setting up campaigns for them, oftentimes they give us this buyer journey and they say build a CRM, which is usually fine because then we go and write email copy and we write the text messages and we actually put all of those things in place. But the point is, you have that macro level, this is how my business operates and this is what needs to happen in order to get somebody, in order to convert somebody. And then you have the micro level, which is, these are the emails that go out. These are the text messages that go out. These are the tags that need to be applied. These are the forms that need to be filled out, and that actually gets the job done. So if you have the macro level without the micro level, it doesn't work, because basically you have a whole lot of idea and strategy in a general framework without the individual components of the campaign that actually get shit done. So without the individual components, then the whole thing falls apart and you are not able, to go to market with it. That's really what I wanted to get at in terms of, building marketing automation campaigns, understanding that there is a high level campaign, that needs to be built out, needs to have like a framework applied, but then also knowing that it's going to take a bunch of time to write the emails and the text messages and all of that other stuff that needs to happen in order to get it live. Oftentimes, somebody downloads a lead magnet, they might get 3 emails, 4 emails before they are either sent to a nurture sequence or moved to a sales sequence, or before they engage. And it might be emails, it might be texts, it might be phone calls. So moving through those campaigns, you have a lot of different collateral that needs to be written. So in just talking through this macro and micro level, campaign layout, imagine, you have traffic. Traffic comes in and a new lead gets added to your email list. So that new lead, then we want them to book a sales call, and then the rep actually calls them. So the micro level of that, there's going to be emails, there's going to be texts, there's going to be calls, that need to go out. Then the next campaign would fire if they're interested in what it is you have to offer. And they say that on the phone, they say yes, you send them a proposal, whatever. Or if they're not interested, we still want to keep them engaged, so we add a nurture sequence. The nurture sequence would be, block 1, block 2, we're sending them emails and stuff to keep them engaged. And if they are interested, then of course they become a buyer. They pay you money, they become a buyer, and then they're off in their fulfillment sequence. So they go through a welcome call, they have course access. But the thing is each of these kind of macro level campaign elements, something that, a CEO or a sales manager, something that they're going to tell you happens, needs to be backed up by the actual creative that fires the micro level campaign content. Now, when thinking about these, follow-ups need to be broken down into days, because not everybody checks their email every single day. Like I do, obviously, but a vast majority of the population does not. So follow-ups are broken down into days. Like day 1, you're sending an email, text, and a call. 3 pieces of collateral that need, material for. Day 2, email, text, call. Day 3, email, text, call. So, and if there isn't a response, you put them in the nurture sequence. So what ends up happening is you're sending a lot of campaign material, because you don't know what's being seen and what's not being seen. You don't want them to forget about what it is you're doing, so and all of that kind of that campaign material is really, really focused at getting somebody to schedule a call. Then after they schedule the call, we need to send out reminders. And the reminders, you're kind of broken down into a logic piece. Did they attend the call or didn't they attend the call? And then are they interested or are they not interested? So what ends up happening is, to get all this done, you need a lot of content. You need a lot of email. In this particular layout, you need 12 emails. You need 7 text messages. You need 7 calls from a sales rep. Plus, you need the sales material, you need the lead magnets, you need the marketing, you need the pages. There's so much that goes into this marketing automation kind of sales funnel, and we are happy to help work with you through it, starting with an action plan call. So if you click the button below this video or somewhere on this page, you can sign up for an action plan call with us. We will get on, we'll talk about your business, we'll talk about where you're looking to go, and what it is you want to build, and we will put together an action plan for that, webinar, sales videos, websites, emails, marketing automation, all that stuff. And then we'll give you an action plan. We'll figure out if it's something you want to work through or not. And regardless, you still have a plan that you can follow, and it will give value to your business. And so click the button below, and I'll talk to you soon. All right, thanks. Bye.